Hey guys, what's going on? It's going to be the pull on to Phase 2 Mythic MugZee guide. So again, I'll just reiterate the intermission changes. The room is going to be cut in half by a slowly rotating beam. If you touch that thing, you will die. And the less timing here is about the 4-minute mark. We're going to be trying to push the boss to 40% right after the Goon cages and then the frontal in P1. Please watch that video again if you're unsure about timing, but we're going to be lusting as soon as the intermission starts, basically right when we're phasing at 40%. So the idea between the intermission portion here is we're baiting the 3 charges kind of clockwise around the room because that's the way the laser beam spins. This is kind of what it looks like while it's animated. Obviously, it's not going to be the smooth, but ideally, range is going to be leading counterclockwise as we're going through the room here. And we want to basically end up where we started P1 at, which is kind of right there underneath the triangle. And the idea here is we're going to be basically doing the exact same thing we did at the start of the fight with baiting mines. So the first bad overlap, or the first overlap set in P2, is going to be bombs and frost boots. It's basically the same overlaps you get in heroic, just slightly harder. So we're going to all stack up around the boss and bait the bombs. The only difference here between P1 and P2 is we're going to actually get 6 bombs instead of 4, but we're still going to pop the same amount. So it's literally the same as P1. The strat's going to be the same. We're going to have Zert hit one natty, and Shiggles will be immuning the following 3, and we're going to have to get our soaks and all that good stuff. So it's literally the exact same thing as P1. The only difference is we will now have 2 bombs left over for the next mechanic that comes out kind of at the same time, which is Frost Shatter Boots. And just like heroic, we use the bombs to get rid of our icicles, right? So you want to use the bombs as a wall, essentially. And it's not super critical that you remove your debuff. However, it just makes it a lot easier to not slip and slide. So you may be kind of all over the place based on soaks and soak timing here. So it's not going to be a good spot to everyone bait in the same spot, but I'm just giving you an idea of kind of movement between the two here. So like if you're on the left side, you can kind of go down and dip in the middle and then go around, or if you're starting on the right side, you can kind of go down first and dip and then go around to point your icicle at the bombs. So there's only going to be 2 bombs, but I think there's 4 icicles that go out. You can point icicles at the bomb more than once. It's not like the walls where they go away. So as long as you're pointing at a bomb, it will prevent you from getting ice blocked, essentially. So that's the first overlap in P2. Just kind of showing the movement here after that. After those Frost Shatter Boots go off, or while they're going off, if you do not get targeted by a Frost Shatter Boots cast, you're going to be moving to get ready for the next overlap set, which is going to be the Goon soaks, the jails, and then the big rocket soak as well. So again, kind of showing that movement. The center thing is going to continuously turn, all that good stuff. But we're going to go into probably one of the hardest overlap sets in the entire fight, which is the Goon soaks and the immune soak. And how this is going to work is we have 4 cages now, because again, we start with 2, we get 3, and then in P2 we get a 4th cage. Everyone's going to be assigned here. I think the only people I'm going to leave out are the tanks and possibly warriors. Everyone else is probably going to be assigned to a cage to kill your goons. But the pattern here is that we're going to put all of our immune people in these first 2 cages up front. And the idea there is that when we get targeted by the cast here, it's only going to target immune people because everyone else will still have the debuff from phase 1 who are not immune people. So it's guaranteed to target the people that are either on Moon whether people are a person that's on moon or a person that's on square. And then the idea here is that you are going to kind of shimmy up towards the edge of your cage to allow the other cage of immune people to help you soak if needed. So super easy. Everyone else is going to do their goon thing. We're going to have the tank frontal that leaves the molten gold on the ground, and he's just going to go behind the cages or where he can, but just trying to leave most of the room clear if you can. So super easy so far, right? And then at about this time, the icicles are going to be breaking off the last 2 bombs, and we will have to pop those. But the timing for the rest of it looks like this. We basically get a bunch of frontals while we're finishing these mines and the soaks, and then getting ready for the last thing that happens in the entire fight. So boss positioning, we're going to kind of move a little bit up here. You notice that I did add those 2 little drone ads back in. They've been there the entire time, but I just added them in here to kind of show that when we do get the next lightning frontal, you can, in fact, point it towards one or both of them to remove it. The ranged one, the far away one, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to be targeting that anyway. Most of the damage should be into the boss. But if you happen to be able to target this one ad with your frontal here, and we can passively cleave it down so we get less circles on people for the last like 30 seconds of the fight, sure. Otherwise, there we can completely ignore them. So again, we get the lightning frontal first. We're going to have another person pop the bomb, which I will put in raid resources, but it's going to be the 2 hunters that are going to pop the last 2. You're going to turtle, pop 1, and then we'll get soaks. There'll be another frontal that goes out, and the second hunter will then turtle and then pop 1, and then we're going to get the other frontal. And we can just point them all towards the wall. And all this time we're getting soaks, right, with those bombs. All right, so that's the third overlap set. So the first overlap set was the mines and frost shatter boots. Second overlap set was the 4 goon cages and the immune soak. The third overlap is finishing the last 2 mines with these frontals. And then we have the very last overlap set. And I'm going to depict the raid as this icon here called the raid, because now we are going to basically be moving as a unit for the rest of the fight, essentially. We're going to want to bait the last set of mechanics altogether. And it is essentially mines into frost shatter boots, but it's a lot of them. So what we're going to do is move kind of close to the puddle that we just placed over here and start baiting the bombs. So when he does his bomb cast, we're all going to slowly move as a raid all the way across. And it's going to summon a lot of bombs. About 20 of them, in fact. And they're not going to be nice in a line. They're not going to be nicely clumped. They're going to be mostly clumped. But we're going to have to use our eyeballs here, because if anyone touches a bomb, it's going to be bad news, right? It's going to cause a soak to go off, and we're not going to be in a position to soak it, and it's going to kill the raid. So we're trying to get these grouped up as best as possible by being stacked as a raid. And we don't want to just run out like crazy when those bombs come out. We want to kind of shimmy out as a raid, because they are kind of serialized as they get targeted on people to spawn. All right. Very last thing in the fight. All these bombs are out. Hopefully we have something to keep them in place. So anything like mass entangle, earth bind, earth grab, anything that holds them kind of near each other is what we want. And then we're going to get a frost shatter boots cast that is going to target the entire raid. And what we want to do is watch the cast bar and get into the fire as the frost shatter cast is going off. As soon as he finishes casting, it will instantly remove the debuff from everyone because we're already in the fire. And then you just need to get around those mines. Everyone does. We can split at this point as long as you get to the other side. I don't care if you go underneath, or if you go around this way, as long as you get around those bombs without touching them and wait for the icicles to go off, that's the goal. So that happens. That freezes almost all of them. Some of them will not be frozen, but that's okay. We still have roots and vines and anything to CC them in place. And everyone else just jumps on the boss as fast as they can, because we have about 5 seconds left to kill the boss before he hard enrages and kills us. And that's the whole fight. That's P2. Thanks, everybody. Let's get the kill.